Hey guys, welcome to Bar Z. My name's Stan and welcome to week 10. And I've already got people talking to me. I don't even have a minute to myself to shoot any video. But it's Tuesday and we're on week 10. And we've got some progress there behind us to let you guys look at. We've been doing wire basketing and getting ready for all the cable and hose drops around this thing. There's a lot of hookups to do. We got a lot of air manifolding, a lot of detail, little stuff that doesn't look like we did anything, but I don't know what it looks like it in the back. But there's quite a bit done of emptying boxes and getting stuff installed. It's great to see empty crates. All right, and let's just flip the camera around and go look around and see what week 10 has in store for us. All right, enjoy. Okay, well, we got basketing under this porch right here. Shoots all the way across, gets you over to the other side of the booth, so we don't have to go up and over the conveyor, which is nice. If you can get under it, that's the way to do it. So we're going to do cabling there. There's an air manifold we mounted. We had to make some brackets for that, verticals. And then they give us these light gray posts to put our cable trays in, which is nice. So we got kind of a raceway around there. And here I'll show you what it takes to make a 90-degree turn or a waterfall or an inside corner, outside corner. You know, we do some. There's a double swing corner right there, getting around that. We'll show you what that's all about. Thought I'd show you guys how to make a horizontal 90-degree sweep with a wire basket. This is a 4-inch, and we're pulling out we call this a bay. We pulled out 2 bays, and now we're going to make a 90-degree turn here. And these, all you do is, the best tool you got is a small pair of bolt cutters and a grinder. So you can cut the rods out. You can even break the spot welds in the center. Just give them a twist, and the spot weld will snap right at your joints right here. Then you grind them smooth, and then you're ready to bend. I'll bring it back when I've made this bend and I'm ready to weld it. Okay, so we just use the table for 90 degrees and use this longitudinal as a point of reference here, all the way down the full length. So I already know my table's 90 degrees, and we made our sweep, and it's all clamped up to the table. And here in this corner, you see we've got our one wiggly one here in the middle. Take our bits of scrap that we cut out. All we do is we lay them across there, tack weld them in, cut the excess off with bolt cutters, and grind the edges smooth. Do that in 3 places, 1, 2, 3. I'll bring you back when it's complete, but it's easy as just bending it around a corner. And that makes a horizontal 90. Simple. Okay, so a little grinder and a little paint makes me the welder that I ain't. That's it for an outside corner. Horizontal. All right, so this is the Eaton basketing system, also known as Cutler hammer, or also known as B-line. So Eaton's got all kinds of brackets and flat bars, and there's all the basketing there. We're probably gonna have a bunch left over. This is all the 12-inch. We've already burned through all the 4-inch. We ran out of 4-inch cable trays. And there's all the different brackets and waterfalls and things that they provide you with. You just got to work with what you got, you know, what they send you. These shelf brackets are handy right here. I'll show you why in a sec. But you know what? If you don't use it all, you take it home and give it to your wife and let her grow tomatoes on it. Works good. All right, well, hope you enjoyed that. And they're just going all directions. Under here, we've got some hosing going under here in that enclosed. We're going to bring some hoses down and head under. That actually goes through an area where it's subject to powder. So we've got hoses that go through there. So we wanted an enclosed duct there. I think that's a 6x6 electrical gutter, but all we're running in there is hoses. And we've got some components we've mounted. This is a powder shaker. Actually, they roll, that's a little ramp. They roll a drum of powder up there, and as it's sitting there sucking powder, it's in there vibrating. So it'll shake everything loose and down to the bottom of the barrel where the hose can get a hold of it. And then it gets it over to the fluid bed over here. And this is the powder kitchen that I showed you in a previous video. Go back to 9 and look at that, where I've got a description of that. And it's just a little complicated. It does have a duct pickup. It's got a small duct pickup and an automated gate valve right here. And when it's time to sweep the fluid bed and clean the fluid bed, that connects to the dust collector all the way over, and it branches into the dust collector, that dark gray line over there. So that's where waste powder goes, and it just goes straight out the dust collector. So when they're cleaning or changing colors or whatever, if they hit the sweep button, kiss it goodbye. Control cabinet there, HEPA box there. HMI interface. If you wonder what HMI stands for, it's not HDMI, it's not high definition or anything like that. HMI is human mechanical interface. So that's a touch screen. Well, I thought we'd peek over at the Sandblast guys and check what their progress was last week. They're doing well. There's some pretty heavy steel down in that hole. They got their mining belts in there. And you still got to do hoppers and all that stuff. But this mining belt here will go up to that center belt and get it off back to the elevator. So those are all motorized. And there's the center belt. See where the top belt dumps on the bottom belt. And I'll run it over here, over to this pit, and this pit's where the elevator is going to go. And that'll elevate the sand and clean it and get it back to the blast spot. Pretty neat. Well, if you want air, they got it. That's some big dogs there. Nice big receiver. Yep. Nice. Okay, so we got both package units mounted outdoors. No big skill here, just pop it off the skid, fly it in, and plopper it down. And they're going to bring a power supply to it. And they're having a refrigeration contractor come over and hook up the line sets. It's like a split unit. We still got the air handlers put inside. Those have to be hung, but those are set. Simple enough. Okay, well we're here at the end of week 10. This is the 10th video. We're into double digits on this series, and I'm going to walk you around here. It's Friday afternoon, kind of late. You know, we've only got about a half hour to go. We're going to pack it up for the weekend, and I got dirt on my face. And but we're going to go show you around. You know, we've been doing a lot of little detail stuff, so you might not see a big change. You know, when I go back and look at the videos, I'm like, wow, I remember when that booth sure looks bare without all the stuff on it, you know. But now we're starting to get all the little accessories on it, all kinds of panels, all kinds of stuff's got to go in there. But then we finally got to the point where we could get the scissor lifts out of the hole, which was what we called the backside of the booth, and we finished all our high reach work. So let's I'm going to walk you around one last time, and we're going to close up this video. Well, back to an oven. We did have we had a little bit of time to ourselves, and the rest of this floor duct came in. This is all the supply duct for the oven. So that just basically just sits on top of that B deck that we put in, if you guys remember. But that's all out of those slots. That's what spits out the hot air, and it rises up across the parts and up to the return duct up there. So the interior of this oven is done. We put all the ductwork in. It came in, we had about 4 or 5 hours to kill, and there we go, we killed it. Here's the aisle side of the system. HEPA box, main control cabinet, OptiCenter. That's the OptiCenter all unpackaged. That's you know, your fluid bed here, and he's got some of the stuff opened up for all the guns things. This is a powder shaker. They put a drum of powder on there, and that base vibrates. It's got a little ramp so they can ramp their drum of powder up there with a hand truck, and then it straps in and shakes. So the powder has to get shaken, not stirred. More racking. We're starting to get, the GEMA guys starting to get some cables in. I'm starting to utilize my baskets. And we got an HMI installed. And he's starting to run cabling to that. Light fixtures are in on this side. This wall's in, and you can see why we couldn't have this wall in. That's the only way to get a scissor lift in right there. There's barely enough room to walk me and you down there, let alone a scissor lift. So this is pretty narrow through here. In this little area back here, no scissor lift can get in here now. That's the only way in. That panel there, we got it in the hole. It goes right here. It just sits on the floor right there, close to this wire racking here. So I don't know whether I showed you the wire racks from last week or not, but there's a bunch of it there. We got a high one, a low one, and then one that runs across the building out back. That's going to be behind all these guns here. All these guns get moved back. So that's where all the hoses and cabling goes to all those guns. And this is the cabinet for the dust collector. This is a fire control cabinet, and we've already pulled cabling into the fire system. That's finished. And then I already showed you the waste pump and the sieve in a previous video. And over here, now that we're clear of the side, the boys are over there putting in. They're putting in the rest of the dance floor and the rest of those walls, and then we're not going to be able to get through there anymore either after all that stuff's in. So they're busy with that, and then that white wall goes all the way down to the end of that deck. That'll be closed off. So it probably doesn't look like we did much, but it's been a lot of little detail stuff. We've had to, you know, put in wire baskets. We had to wire, it's called a FIKE system. That's an emergency blow type fire extinguishing system. There's those FIKE bottles up in horrible, horrible places. It's that white bottle way up there. Way up there. That's a fire extinguisher bottle. It gets charged with nitrogen and something else, I don't know. But it's a FIKE is the name of the company. It's Fuller Engineering something, I don't know. Anyways, they got them in strategic locations all over the place here. All right, but that's the pit for painting undercarriages. Center section is for painting, that's the automated section. That's where the cloud of powder, highly charged powder. And they're working on the dance floor at the other end. That's where they paint the top of the trailers. There's another gun cabinet there. Oh yeah, we had to install air manifolds. I mean, that's a substantial air manifold. Got two of those on there. There's two of those air manifolds that go on the side of the booth. And so we've even got baskets under the dance floor. That's how we bridge and go all the way across. The only other way to get across is to go up and over the top of the conveyor, and nobody wants to do that. Then the only thing left of the GEMA stuff that has to go in, this is a laser curtain. This has to go in. We do parts detection on the way in. So we detect the length of the part and the height of the part and the width of the part. So we basically measure the part on the way in so we can position the guns appropriately. So that still has to go in. Good time. Okay, well, that's the end of week 10. I thank you, everybody, for tuning in. Hope you enjoy your coffee this morning. Hope you have a good weekend. You got Christmas coming up. I'm going home for Christmas, but hope everyone has a happy and healthy Christmas and New Year's. And we'll be back on this project after the new year, but we're coming up on we got one more week. We'll do episode 11, and then we'll be off for the holidays. All right? Thanks for watching, and enjoy the rest of your weekend.